Song hard as fuck.
Trojan family, Trojan Nation, what's up? It's your boy D Peter, and I'm back with another video. It's going to be a recap of our 41-28 victory over the Stanford trees, whatever the hell they call their name. Man, I mean, what a game. What a revenge, to be honest with you. For a lot of us USC fans, man, we've been looking forward to this game. A lot of people counted us out. A lot of the media really was just saying that possibly we're just going to lose this game and possibly kind of see the same thing that happened last year. That wasn't the case, man. The case was we came, we saw, we conquered, and we left victorious. That's what happened. Go ahead and comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell that you'll be notified in another video, man. I apologize for not being able to do a pregame preview. It's my fault for being late, not utilizing my time correctly. I didn't get a chance to do it. But that's okay, because we on to the next one. We 2-0, and that's how we roll. Trojans, you feel me? So it's good. I'm excited. We're 2-0 going against Fresno State, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Fresno State. But I'm excited. So let's start talking about the game. Let's get right to it. So the first half, man, you couldn't get a better start than this, right? The first half starts. We kick off the ball. Stanford starts their drive. You know, they got a little going on, and then McKee throws it over the middle, tip, Bullock tips it, Max Williams gets the ball. We come down, we drive. From that point, we get to the end zone, and we score with our own Lake McKee. So that was pretty interesting how that happened. But it was a nice little jump pass by Caleb Williams to Lake McKee for about a 5 to 7 yard touchdown. Stanford gets the ball back. They drive the ball, and the one thing that I would say is that they utilize that RPO very well in this game, and I know it gave our defense some fits in this game, and you can see it, you know, and we'll talk more about that. But majority of the time, it was EJ Smith was the majority of the carrier of the ball, and Stanford, they were able to drive the ball down the field pretty smooth and easily. To be honest with you, they were driving the ball down the field, and they got down to the goal line. And we got a good stop, and then they attempted a field goal, and Brandon Peely, the USO jumps off sides, which we thought. I thought maybe even though they got a little closer, but they'll still kick a field goal. But instead, Brian Shaw throws his offense back out there, and then they try to throw a fade route to the receiver, number 81, which Mekhi Blackman was out there, was able to tip the ball and tip it to himself, and was able to get the ball and take it back for about, I think 15 yards. So from there, our offense carved that defense up with that drive, with an 83-yard drive, ending with a 23-yard screen pass to none and only Jordan Addison for 22 yards. Stanford comes back on the third drive of the game. They run the ball with EJ Smith and also Elijah Higgins, getting about 2 first downs back to back. Mekhi Blackman gets hit with a PI call. Now, Mekhi Blackman, he's a good corner, but he was very handsy this game. There might have been one that shouldn't have been called, but it was called. And he was getting a little handsy, getting a 15-yard penalty. We got to clean that up. That has to be changed this upcoming game. But they get a 15-yard penalty, which led to a Benjamin Urisic 50-yard run, which got them down to the 6-yard line, which ended up in the EJ Smith touchdown. EJ Smith, as many of you know, may or may not know, he is actually Emmitt Smith's son, and he was, I'm not gonna lie, besides the fumbling issues he has, he is a solid running back. He looked good out there against our defense. We then answer back with oh my goodness, we answer back with the Caleb Williams, just a bomb. One play, bomb, boom, 75 yards to the crib. That was beautiful. What a beautiful ball by Caleb Williams. And then after that, Stanford was able to get the ball, and then they also produced a 73-yard drive for themselves, which was cut short Max Williams, man, I mean, great hit by him. I mean, he came downhill. When I was watching the game live, I mean, I literally thought EJ Smith was going to be a walk-in touchdown because of the angle. As many of you know who watched the game live, it was kind of zoomed in. So, like, when I don't know who missed the tackle, but when he was running, it was zoomed up to him. So it looked like it was like daylight for him where he was going to go. And then all of a sudden you see Max Williams, boom, helmet. I mean, perfect tackle by Max Williams. Coming downhill, helmet on the ball, bam, it was over. Fumble, we recover it, and then we took it 98 yards down to their end, and we throw a 15-yard quick pass to Mario Williams, which he gave the coldest. Boy,
these guys, wow. Back in the red zone, gets it out to Williams quickly. He shakes a tackle. Mario Williams dances into the end zone.
Coldest juke in the game, which led to a 15-yard touchdown. It was nasty. I mean, it was just ridiculous how he did that. In which, after that, you know, our defense gave up. You know, we just struggled with the RPO, as I mentioned earlier. We struggled with the RPO, and I mean, we could not do anything, you know, to really stop it. You know, I mean, they were definitely different from last year. Last year, you kind of knew when they were just going to run the ball. This time, I mean, McKee, whatever his name is, like, he kept just holding on. And then next, you know, he either pull it or the running back and our backers are already out, you know, dropping in their zone coverage. And you just see EJ Smith or the other running back just kind of going about their way. And then, so yeah, that was happening. And we're struggling with that RPO because we end up giving up another touchdown. And then, you know, we ended up, after that touchdown was given up, we then came back with our own, and then Travis Dye runs a 22-yard touchdown up the middle. What a great game by Travis Dye, by the way. And before half, our defense was able to get a key half at 35-14. And at this point, you know, this game wasn't really like over with because, like, you know, you just never know, right? And I think at halftime we made some adjustments. But it just seems like, or coming out of the first half into the second half, our offense really was like very stalled, very just kind of, we're just struggling to maintain drives. It looked like it just, you know, we weren't able to consistently get downfield like we usually do. We were able to get down to get one field goal, and we also missed one. But you could just see the shift in the momentum from our offense to Stanford. Because it looked like when Stanford was on defense, they looked like they made some adjustments because they were able to slow down our high-powered offense that we had early in the game in the first half. I mean, we were kind of doing whatever we wanted to do with this defense. So, good shout out to Stanford's defense for making the right USC's first drive on defense was pretty well as well. I mean, our defense kind of honed in a little bit, and we were able to get a stop to have them punt it, and then also we were able to cause a fumble, which was from Thule. What a great game by Thule, by the way. Also, which USC was able to get a field goal out of, you know, and stuff like that. But, you know, from how we've been seeing from like the past week into this week, our expectations as fans, we were like, oh, we're going to be able to score. But this is kind of what happens when a defense makes the right adjustments and is able to get everybody on the same page and how to stop a high-powered air raid type of offense. So big shout out once again to Stanford for that. USC was able just to get some field goals out of those drives that we were able to have, but then our defense kind of just let up, and I think it's because our offense wasn't able to sustain drives and really hold the ball enough for them to get enough rest, because having 14 points unanswered back to back, I mean, they were able to move the ball. Like I was saying earlier, that RPO was kind of just getting us and just putting us in bad positions where guys were out of spots and they were able to find holes in our defense. You know, they ended up bringing up the game to 41-28, which USC's offense was still unable to kind of move, but they were able to do enough to hold off the game, which I think it came down to the wire. And then in the 3-minute We had to punt the ball, and Stanford gets the ball back, and our defense like literally just came together and just really got after the quarterback. We ended up getting a fourth down turnover by 2 key sacks by Thule and also Solomon Bird. Man, those guys got after it. So that was pretty much the game. That ended the game, which we ended up winning 41-28. But I think all the excitement really happened in the first half. The first half was really like USC, and I think that we built a big enough lead to where the issues that we had in the second half didn't really fully affect us because we already put ourselves ahead. But we want to make sure that we clean up those things and make sure that we kind of just keep our feet on the pedal and not allow a team like Stanford feel like they can hang with us, because I feel like we were just more superior. We just had a better talented team than they did, but we just kind of allowed them to stay in the game and have some faith that they can kind of come back. So we want to make sure we kind of like, smooth that out and try to figure out how offensively the same momentum that we had going into into halftime, that we carry that over into the second half. It's very imperative, man. So yeah, the offense was, first half wise was just out of this world. I mean, highlights after highlights after highlights. Caleb Williams just doing his thing, receivers, playmakers making plays. That's why they overall defensively just got to clean up some things. Let's go ahead and let's work on stopping the run and just getting off the field. That's the main thing. Let's just get off the field and let's let our offense do their thing. We also, I think what covers up all those yards that we give is that the fact that we get turnovers. I think we have, if I'm not mistaken, about like 8 or 9 turnovers in 2 games. In 2 games, let alone we have 6 picks. You can't be mad at that. But I want to see our defense be more dominant out there. Our linebackers got to know what we're doing, got to communicate, got to come downhill and make plays. We just got to stop giving them so much running yards. So that's basically the recap of the game and like kind of what improvements I want to see, and hopefully we can see that in this next game coming up this week. But remember, we're 2-0, so we can't be mad at that. Game-changing play of the game, I would have to say it's Max Williams' forced fumble on E.J. Williams on the goal line.
Third down run with Smith. Oh, the football's loose.
I mean, you couldn't draw up a perfect tackle than that hit by Max Williams. Helmet on the ball pops out. USC gets the ball, drives it down, touchdown. Shout out to Max Williams. Game balls. I have 4 of them today. The first one is going to go to Mr. Bolitnikov himself, Jordan Addison. What a game. The boy could take the top off. He could get the ball. He could take off. He is reminding me a little of Michael Crabtree. Could he go back to back? We will see. He's looking like he's on track to. But he has 7 receptions, 172 yards, and 2 tugs. My next one is the workhorse himself, Travis Dye. He had 14 carries, 105 yards with 1 touchdown. The guy was just dominant on the ground. You just couldn't tackle him, bro. Like he's the old school running back. No gloves, no tape, no nothing. He's just going to run through you or over you, whichever one you want. He's a great pass blocker as well. Now let's swap it over to the defensive side. 2 game ball goes to Max Williams, who was all over the field. Man, he is dominant. I love him at the nickelback, but he is dominating at free safety, man. I don't know. I would like to still see him go back to slot and have Xavier come back in and play strong safety and then have Bullock, but we will see what Grinch does. He had 7 tackles, 1 forced fumble, which was the one on EJ Smith, and then also 1 interception. The last one is, the man himself, Mr. Captain, the leader, Tui Tupulotu, man. The kid had 6 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, 1 sack. He was dominating tonight. He stood out. Tonight. So shout out to Tuli. Shout out Thoko on doing your thing tonight. Man. Player of the game. Y'all already know. Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, man. He is so cold. I mean, just look.
But he should have handed it off. Instead, he's got a lot of Cardinal jerseys there chasing him down.
The man is a beast. He said, We live real iron. That Stephon was so cold. But he went 20 for 27, 341 yards, 4 touchdowns with a QBR of 96.3. Man, what a game by Caleb Williams. Man, him and Jordan Addison, they are on that Heisman watch for a reason. And tonight they proved just that. But let's continue this momentum. Let's continue the route that we're going. Let's get better on defense. Let's be better in the second half. And let's just continue to roll through these schedules, man. I will have a pregame preview for this upcoming week. I'll be posting it on Wednesday. But please, once again, like, comment, subscribe. Please help the algorithm. I'm trying to build this up. I want to be here just to review, give you guys my opinion, my thoughts of games. Hopefully you like it, Trojan Nation, Trojan family. I'm out, man. Remember, love, peace, and you feel me.